I know the DJ.
Do you?
You gotta
90s baby, stand up.
You're coming back cause I'm blowing in it. Pause. I take my craft serious.
Get the hell out of here. I don't owe you shit.
Welcome to episode 108 of But I Know the DJ, a podcast discussing all things music, nightlife, business, and pulp culture through the unfiltered opinions of host SNAX.
GimmeSnax, baby.
And DJ Cammmy V.
DJ Cammmy
Welcome,
V.
everybody.
What's up, baby?
This is
What's
the
up?
first show 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. Shout out to anybody celebrating dry January, wet January. Shout out to your resolutions. We're just happy to be here and have a new year of the show. So shout out to everybody tuning in and listening. We miss you. We love you. Got Cammie here.
Snacks, new year, new me, baby.
New year, new you, and new decade for you. Happy belated birthday. Cammie just
Thank you.
joined the 30 club.
30 for 30.
How you feeling?
Feeling old, bro. Feeling old. Knees are hurting. Palms are sweaty. Yo, what the fuck is that?
Do we just lose visual? Do we have audio too?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I can't. Yo, guys, are we good? Can you,
Do we
Dylan? Do you unplug something?
do we only
I ain't do shit, bro.
do we only lose visual? Do we have audio too?
Check, check. Are we good?
Dude. Oh, God damn it. The first fucking show.
I'm fucking back! I'm fucking back! You thought you get rid of me? You thought you could get rid of me?
Oh.
All you bitch ass niggas! He's back! Finally, Fingaz has come back to But I Know the DJ!
Wow. It's a new year.
He's back! Woo! Woo! Fuck! I was trying to lose weight, it didn't work. I was trying to lose weight. We're in here. 2025, bitches! Fingaz!
Wow.
He's officially back.
Yo,
Bro.
what's up, guys?
So happy to see you. This is my first time seeing you in a while, man.
A long time.
Happy New Year,
You don't
bro.
answer my phone calls at all.
Bro, it's so lonely on this side.
Yeah, bro, listen. Ado was trying to work it out. Shout out everybody, yo, I'm back. Everyone's like, yo, where the fuck is Fingaz? I'm like, yo, Snack kicked me out. You know what I'm saying? But yo, I'm happy to be back, baby.
And we missed you, man.
Yo, we missed you too. I missed
And
you too, guys.
your presence was definitely missed. And we try holding it down, man. It's not easy. You know, you're a big presence on the show. So
Ado, do we have the stats of the ratings? Me on and off? Yeah. We gotta pull that up later on. Oh! On the intro, huh? That's what we doing. That song is fire.
you think it's that good?
Listen,
You think it's really that good?
I'm all in on it.
I like it because it's.
Is it the meme that it's Jello?
No, I actually.
You think it's hard?
Listen, the bars could be a little bit better. The chorus is. I think the chorus is perfect, and it got that old school feel. It's something different than everything that's going on
It's
right
giving
now.
Madden 05.
You know what I'm saying?
bro.
Yeah.
Great. Yep.
So it has that bop that's not really people are not using anymore. Everything's so repetitive.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's refreshing to hear.
In the BPM in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of harmony stacking and like full vocal stacks, which I think is very interesting. Like that's a pretty mature thing, I think, to do
Yeah.
for a rapper, and he's kind of like doing it out the gate.
And they
here.
kept
First
it in
song
all
out,
family,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I guess the brother helped write it. Someone made the cover. Someone made the beat. They all kept it in family, which is fucking.
The Ball family is up
Genius
right now.
again.
The Ball family is up.
LeVar
3 for 3.
LeVar was right.
3 for 3.
Yeah, 3 for
And-
3 balls. Three balls.
But I think now moving forward,
Pause.
he's not going to have to rely on friends and family to help him with the work, because he just signed a record deal with Def Jam
That was quick.
on Universal
Off the first single.
for up to $13 million with $8 million
Wow.
guaranteed.
Wow.
Crazy.
So it's one of those things where he already has a brand. They don't really have to build him up yet.
Right.
No, yeah, he's there.
he already has the brand, and the way that sports has embraced the song, like I think it was it the Eagles or the Lions maybe? There was some like cut to like halftime or something. They were like doing their huddle, and at the end of the huddle, they split, and then someone goes, "Play that Jello!" Like it just in the back, like it wasn't planned, and then they just like play, like it's just very embraced in sports, obviously.
Football, yeah,
basketball,
all the
obviously.
basketball locker rooms. Like I saw Chicago, obviously. The Hornets, all of them.
Yeah, the Hornets obviously are gonna love it, and I mean, again, like when I first heard it, again, I was impressed by, like I said, the vocal stacking and everything like that, and I was like, okay, cool, like he's trying, this is like this is a song that he's like serious about, but it didn't really push me anyway. Like I wasn't. It's not like I was like, yo, this is fire. Like whatever.
As a DJ, for me, it's more so like, damn, all right, cool, I can get in my Manny Fresh bag right here off this. You know what I'm saying? I can build.
His
up to
voice
that.
does sound very Manny Fresh.
Like,
actually,
if you take that song and blend it to any of those beats from back in the day, it actually sounds kind of tough.
Yeah, I think
saying?
Storm did a blend with. Was this?
I saw that
with EI.
Yeah.
That's fire. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like that traditional like 2000s Atlanta.
Yeah, Cam Powers did a blend with I think Disco Inferno. Like, yeah, it really does give a mid 2000s.
Everybody get your roll on. That type of shit. It's fire. So, like I said, it's something refreshing for the club. It's a new but old bounce that a lot of this generation don't know about.
Bring it
so
back.
Let's again 2025. Let's switch it up. Let's switch up the fucking
weirdest savior of male hip hop, huh?
Who would have thought?
I mean, came out of left field.
I mean, coming off of Lil Baby's new album. Lil Baby dropped an album during our break here at the turn of the new year. That I didn't like at all.
I didn't run to it.
Bro.
I skimmed through it and I was just like, nothing popped out of me.
Bro, just so repetitive.
It's
Nothing new. The beats weren't crazy.
I know.
The verses weren't crazy.
The one thing I like was the intro. I
Intro
did like
sick.
the intro. The intro was definitely he was on there rapping. It was very cinematic, which the intro should be. You should kill it off the intro.
I agree.
Like I said, Little Baby is just. I feel like he just stayed here with
Well,
his
creativity.
I'll say this though, because I thought it was way better than his last album. His last album was like super repetitive, super repetitive, and
Yeah, I didn't
at
get
least
a
with
good
Wham, I feel like he showed some of his like more melodic stuff. There were some like melodic records mixed in, which like. Obviously, as a Lil Baby fan, I do like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as like a rating for the project, I gave it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Like it's not. I don't know what.
I think that's kind.
I don't. I thought it was better than his last one. I gave like a 3. You know.
Yeah. I like it. Just when I think about the classic Baby records, like "Life Goes On" is one of my favorite songs by him. Like,
Of course.
I think he was way more experimental and more melodic back then. Like right now it's just so like it's just so monotone, so linear, and then even like with women being so really holding it down in hip hop right now, like the Glorilla feature, I was like, okay, like let me go to her verse, and even she did something like she had a part where like the beat drops.
Yeah, I thought that was fire.
And like, you know what I mean, like she's trying.
Yeah.
But I was like, even her, like she didn't have a lot to work because this beat was very bland.
Yeah, the
and like
production's
the whole
crazy.
like I was like the whole song itself was bland. Like she can rap as much as she want, but like the whole song needs to like be able to push her as a feature. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I thought the 21 Savage song was not good at all. Like
that was terrible.
And I'm a big fan of 21 Savage, and I was just like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
I don't know what's going on.
The Travis one I thought was too slow.
Yeah, too slow. And then the one they were pushing was the Young Thug one in Future.
Sounds like every other one.
Where it's just another, like you could copy and paste any of those verses by any of them and put it on anything else. So with all that being said, we have this this random Dark Knight coming out of the shadows.
When
LiAngelo
hip-hop
Ball,
needed it
when
most.
hip hop needed it most.
Killing it.
With this sound that is completely different. That is more old school. That is more throwback. That is reaching into a pocket that we haven't really heard from, aside from. Against some of the ladies doing some of the sample work and just reusing beats and stuff like that.
And didn't I say this like a few pods ago? And I was just like, that a lot of people are tapping back. Like, how can this be your era if you're tapping back into art? Like we're talking about with the DJ stuff. Like, oh, you pick songs from your era, I'll pick songs from my era. How do you call it your era if you're constantly sampling from ours. I know we did use a lot of samples and stuff like that, but we created a lot of sound. A lot of sound was created in the 2000s where it was very distinctive, and where the bounce and all that stuff like that was very distinctive to now. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just been the same repetitiveness. Oh, let me go get a hit. Let me go sample something from the 2000s. Let me bring it back, and that's what's been going on.
Yeah. I guess to your point, thing is too, like, back 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, like a lot of live instrumentation was used for their music. You know, they call them the best of the best for like each part of the song. Yeah. And, I guess with like the 2000s was like the true beginning of like, I don't know, like obviously there was hip hop sampling going on in the 90s, but, they were a victim of like the technology that they had. Yeah. And, in the 2000s and onwards, like our era, that was like where sampling really took it into the next gear. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I get to a point now where I agree completely with what you're saying. It's like you're sampling stuff that we already sampled. So it's like you're watering it down almost, and it's not really your era. It's kind of our era. Yeah. Like I get the difference between like my parents' generation being like, you sampled all our music. Yeah, like we sampled your live instrumentation in the vocal chops.
But it was made unique. You know what I'm saying? It was made in a unique way where we kind of made it our own, versus now, shit that's flying now would never fly back then. Like reusing flows, taking other people's flows, and like it literally there was a gentrified way of rapping, and everybody was okay doing it. That would be like shunned upon back in our era. It was you need to be different. You need to rap your own way. Oh, you sound like that dude. Just like how I think the last final remnants of that was when Designer came in and he was sounding like Future. That was the last of us of the checks and balances in hip hop. Hey, you sound like Future. You're not gonna pass this route. You're not gonna pass this level, that track, because everything you come out with sounds like Future. I feel like that was the last time we heard of people actually being like caring about that.
Yeah, that's true.
And regional music was so big too. I know you have seen the Nelly clip where he's like, during my era, I had to go against Luda, I had to go against DMX, I had to go, like, my era was so difficult, and you had all these dudes really, really competing hard, but Nelly being from St. Louis, and they, the St. Lunatics, and them having their sound and their style, competing with the Atlanta guys, competing with the New York guys, competing with the West Coast guys, like, I think a lot of it, we talked about West Coast sound kind of coming back, especially on the back of Kendrick Lamar.
And that's why I love that album. Even
West Coast.
Even the real West Coast track towards the end of the album that people couldn't really find the bounce to. That song, like that album, I like that album because we're drawing the line again.
Right, right.
This is what we sound like. We're not trying to sound like y'all. We are proud from where we come from. That's why, like up here in the East Coast, where that was something that we prided ourselves on. We don't really know what a New York sound is, but now you know what? We probably label that the drill kind of thing now, right? Or the sexy drill thing is kind of like what is
Cash Cobain.
which is separating what hip hop is, and then the guys like Joey Badass doing the boom bap and stuff like that. That is that sound that was lost in the East Coast. Everybody was trying to mimic the down south and be in stuff like that. But hopefully this is a turn of the tide, and we get more unique and more gentrified sounds that we can. It's the same thing all the time. We're gonna get bored of it. That's why hip hop is lackluster right now.
Yeah, I'll say what caught my attention immediately. Right, so I'm sure you guys saw the video too before the song got released. I think it was him in the car playing it like off an MP3, so it wasn't like a direct audio. And I didn't even know that it was him. I just like heard it. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" I was like caught immediately by the sound of it. Like, "Yo, this sounds like some shit that I used to listen to when I was like in middle school." You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what caught my attention. Not the fact that it was LiAngelo, but just the sound. Period.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see. I think the pressure's on.
Oh, big time.
The follow-up record, right? Like, how does he work off of the success? And now with the new deal, like, he has quotas he's gonna have to hit now. Curious. I mean, I think it's one of those things that, again, it's not like he's some random person that just got a hit. Like we know who he is, and honestly, like, he's gonna get the support. I think regardless.
He has the resources. He's gonna have the resources.
He has the resources, but he also I think people are just like he's like a meme, dude. Like people are just gonna want to support him no matter what. Like, just even if it's like as a joke.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get plays.
I mean, this is the new norm where it's like, hey, you go viral, and that's how you get put on no matter what. It's not really about. I mean, you can have the hot music, but you have to go viral. You have to be in everybody's phones in some type of way or repost and catch that wave. But speaking of brands, recently in the area, there's been a lot of brand switching lately. Brand taking. Well, there's been a lot of chatter of people starting certain things that.
I had such a good segue. Where you got the reins.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to take your segue. I just want to get it out of the way before Ada runs out the room.
This is your show, bro.
Before Ada runs out the room.
It's your show, bro.
So, I mean, but I love the DJ. We like
what?
to keep.
But I love the DJ.
But I love the DJ.
He just changed the name of the podcast right there.
That's it. See, it's been a while, but I know. But I love and I know the DJ.
I do love the DJ.
We try to keep it neutral. We try to keep it very safe here. But I mean, I feel like it's okay to talk about what's going on in the area, and I think it's okay to mention certain things. I mean, at least for me, right, Ado. So.
Jeez.
I guess over the weekend there was there was a Sunday night wars in the club space.
Okay.
One night being a running Sunday that's been going on for I guess about like 2 years, right? You guys believe I think it was Rico Suave over at Han with the Han boys over there. Fuego Sundays. And then I guess there was a pop up. There's a pop up of a new Sunday night going on. Mm-hmm. I guess it's at Icon. With AJ and the boys over there, called Sunday Service, right? And there was this big talk online, a lot of tit for tat and pettiness going back and forth about who started what.
Okay.
Where this has started, where that started, but did you guys catch the drift of that over the weekend?
I'm very in the dark about this whole situation. I didn't follow.
I know you
this
have.
I'm very.
I know you was. I know you very much know about this.
I just watched.
Yeah, you just watch.
I'm just.
I mean, you're pretty cool with both parties, right? With both sides of the thing. Are we? Is that what we're doing? 2025. We can have a conversation. We're not dissing nobody.
I didn't say anything.
I just find it. It was just something that took over. Kind of Boston, like timeline.
What is the issue?
The issue is that, like I said, Rico has a Sunday, and I guess they started their Sunday. The AJ and his crew started his Sunday, and I guess there's been a tit for tat going back and forth on who used the name Sunday Service or where it came from or something like that. First of all, Sunday Service has been used so many fucking times. I don't think that. Right. I don't think that's the gist of the issue. I think the issue was a lot of the tit for tat, like, hey, fuck your night, come to my night, type shit. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. And like I said, I'm pretty cool with both sides, but I think
is it like the same genre? Is it a
it was like Latin open format. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of, and they both did well. Mm-hmm. They both. So I mean, Rico's been selling out for 2 years now, and I guess they have a good little team over there. And it was his birthday. It was one off they were supporting, so that popped off.
I thought they were doing it weekly. They're not doing it weekly.
Well, I mean, that was the first night.
Yeah.
So it was his birthday, so they made it a big spectacle, and you know what I'm saying. They did well. Shout out to them. I just don't like this whole tit for tat thing with.
I mean, I think promo's promo.
Like, I think promo is promo, but it's just like. It's like there's facts too, you know what I'm saying? Like and
what are the facts?
And well, there's a lot of like, backstabbing type shit going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of childish things, like childish behavior going on with the tit for tat. Like a lot of the people that are involved, would party at the same parties together, or would be at Han. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just didn't. I reached out and I talked to a few of them. I was just like, why the back and forth? And I guess the consensus is like they both thought that they were talking trash about them. And we had this conversation about Boston, promoters kind of going at each other like that.
Yeah.
And I think there's enough around for both of them to win. Why are we looking up to the sides? Are we like, what's going on here?
I'll say this though. I think because nightlife is in a different place than it was. Gone are the days, in my opinion, now where hey, my night's slow. Yo, my friends are hosting a night down the street. Go support their night. I haven't seen that in a long time, unless it's like within same ownership groups.
Yeah.
And when there's a limited amount of people going out, people are spending less money. That's when it gets really competitive, and that's when it gets petty, in my opinion.
Yes, but here's my thing, is like, like I said, this is an objective conversation, and a lot of times that people just say things without proving things. It's like, can you sit there and literally have the right to talk trash without the track record to prove that? Like if I start off a pop-up shop and you had your own pop-up shop, your shit's booming, and I'm like, yo, my shit's better than yours. This is my first night. Is that a valid?
But again,
is that trolling?
But I think promoters are gonna be promoters.
So that's trolling. You think that would be trolling?
I don't think it's trolling. I think it's, if you have to sell something, you have to make it seem like it's the best thing in the world. And I think that's what people do every Friday and Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can do that without putting down other brands.
Ado?
Yeah.
Hey, Ado.
That's why I kept looking out. He likes.
You caught him in. You caught him in. Yeah. Look, I'm not gonna get into specifics, right? This is, I think, a conversation you guys actually had about.
And that's why I bring it up.
Another brand that has been copied in Boston, in other areas,
and a lot of the comments disagreed with us. They just said, "Who gives a fuck?"
Yeah. Well, I think we're in. Cammie brings up a really good point. We're in a point in nightlife where, from a business standpoint, right? Let's talk venue to venue, right?
Yeah.
I think venues now have to make certain decisions where they need to do what's best for them, right? Take away whatever individuality on the promoter level and how that makes someone feel. And I've learned this the hard way too, right? Is I've contributed and done things where I should earn some sort of respect and people not stepping on my turf, right? On an ownership level, I've had to learn that they don't really care about that, right? Because I'm not ultimately paying their bills, or I'm not covering their insurance costs, or any of the other things that goes into actually running a venue. So when I think about what you're talking about, yes, there's some promoter things that, again, promoters, it's a world of, like, there's kind of no rules, right? Because at the end of the day, you're kind of fending for yourself. I do think there is an opportunity to be a little bit more friendly, right? In how you can go about creating competition, right? It doesn't have to be the tick for tack and online stuff. Like, just produce your night and kill it, right?
So
That's
my second, which perfectly sailed right into it, is this fueled by the management? Is this fueled by the up top coming down to where it's let's create this crab in the barrel mentality to where we copy and paste until we can suck it dry.
What part of it is copied and pasted?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of let's talk about the night since we're talking about the night. There's a lot of Latinos in Boston. There's a lot of Afro, listening, or just Africans. There's a lot of urban, and there's enough to go around, right? So, is there a world where you can do that and still exist without that? Talking shit about your friend, because like let's go to say a lot of the people that were there would usually end up at a Han on a Sunday when it was dead.
But where do you get inspiration from, right? You get inspiration from going and seeing and experiencing, right? And iterating maybe from where you see some shortcomings of what you've experienced.
That's fine. I don't mind that. My thing is like, why does it have to be the, hey, you should be scared of what's about to happen because we're gonna come and take over? I
think it's SNAX's point, right? Yeah, that's the promotion. That's like the, hey,
that's boxing.
Like yes, I think I think it's everywhere, but I do think there's a little bit more of it here because we're a big market but small market, right? Like
everybody knows everybody.
The proximity, right, from one party to another. You want to make it known, like, hey, come to mine. Is there a better way of going about it? I don't know, right? Would I go about it differently? Maybe.
Yeah.
right? It also depends. It's situational, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think that the conversation to have, I think you made a point about, is it a management thing? No, it's not a management thing. It's a management thing in terms of where the nightlife, like temperature is, where people have to just go after low-hanging fruit, right? There's Latin music right now is very, very popular, right? So like you need to go, like if I'm a business owner or venue owner, I'm having a Latin night, right? If my venue is conducive of that. So like I don't think it's like, you know, fuck them, fuck this person. No, I don't think it's that at heart. I do think they saw an opportunity, and I think both parties can still be successful.
Draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Because
I think in business, to be honest with you, I don't think there's a line.
If you're sitting there saying, "Fuck my night, come here," you're taking money out of my pocket. I don't see that as a joke. You know, I don't see that where, oh, yo, I can see you tomorrow and be like, hey, let's go have something to drink. Let's go talk. I don't see it that way.
When you DJ a night and someone hits you up and they're like, hey, I'm thinking about coming to you, or I'm thinking about coming to this, you're not gonna be like, yo, fuck that.
I'm not going online though. I'm not.
Okay.
But he said, I'm not going online and saying, hey, yo, fuck SNAX, come here. I'm saying,
Yeah,
hey,
see, I don't know any about that.
I'm saying,
But
and I'm not saying that was said, but
Yeah.
that was the line that was walked.
I get
on
that
both
point, but we
sides.
don't need to as DJs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
But promoters, like I think it's. I'm not in the trenches like that. I don't know how personal shit got or anything like that.
neither.
I did see a lot of like, yo, fuck that. Like we're here
Yeah.
to like. I saw that. But again, I think that's just outside looking in. I was like, he's just trying to make his night look like the baddest thing. And,
knowing the people involved here, this is what, again, maybe to speak a little bit more specifics, is I think anyone would feel any type of way if you started something, right? And then someone came along and did something. And not copied it, but created a version of it, right? But that, let me tell you something. Let's like, that is business, right? There is no rules in business. Like you do what you do to survive and to pay bills and to pay yourself.
And again, that's not my argument. My argument is there's enough on the table which that night happened and they both succeeded.
Exactly,
right?
100%. So you're right that there is no need for the exterior stuff, right? Again, I don't know exactly what happened, but again, knowing the two parties, right? I don't think it's actually really malicious. Yes, would there maybe be some resentment along the way, but that's natural, right? I don't know any business person that has ever done anything in business that doesn't resent anyone that takes even a dollar or a penny, right? Yeah. Even though there's a huge market share, right, for those people, clearly, because both events can do well. Mm-hmm. I don't want fucking, let's just say me and Matt split up, right? Yeah. I love him and I appreciate everything he's did for me, but I don't want him to do well. Even though there's enough room in the college market to, and I have friends in the college market that, again, I'm not wishing for their downfall, but I don't want them to do better than me. Yeah. Right? It's like I don't think you can be in business if you don't have that competitive edge of wanting, like the next day I can literally go out to dinner with him and pretend like nothing's wrong. Yeah. But when it comes to business, like I'm trying to beat you, I'm trying to kill you, I'm trying to stomp on you because that's what it takes to be successful in business.
Okay.
God,
that's
so
what
horny.
I think.
So there is no room for humility in this game.
To a certain level. Like in terms of
where's the line? My question of this whole thing is where's the line?
But the thing is, like, you can look at it like a Michael Jordan, like, who talked so much shit, walked around like he's like, I'm the baddest dude here, and like whatever. But you have dudes, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant comes in, LeBron. Like, you have to act like Kobe Bryant. The second I'm in the court, like he had friends that were opposing to you, and he was like, hey, I'm not your friend. Yeah. The second we get on the court, it's competition, it's business. Like I definitely understand and resonate with that. Like, bro, anytime me and you were on the set together, we were trying to kill each other. Yeah. Like that's just the way it is. And what I was gonna say is, the banter between the two, again, not sure I personally guess outside looking in, I think it's good for nightlife.
Me too.
I think like it was like, oh shit, Sundays are lit up right now. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? All this is lit. And the same thing options, and then same thing with the last time it happened. We're like, yo, this is good. Like shit's like probably like nightlife was getting kind of dry for a second. Yeah. And like now people are picking sides and like
look at the Drake Kendrick.
Yeah, like so I think it's good for nightlife. I think at the end of the day, it's business. Business is war, as we say. You know what I mean?
Business is war.
So
I think from a marketing standpoint, right? This whole everyone's talking about this.
Yeah.
That is the cheapest form of marketing you could
Yeah.
possibly have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't have to spend a single dollar on video, photo, or anything, and people already know their night exists and something's going on because it's so popping online.
I just know back then a lot of people would get smacked
I'm sure.
for a lot of things
Thanks,
that are
sir.
being said.
See, but you know what's so
But-
crazy? I was gonna bring back a quick history of
not
nightlife.
not promoting violence, brother.
Yeah, no. But
pod,
a quick
just pod.
a quick history when I think about like the Cure days. For people that don't know, Cure is where Hava is now. Cure used to be one of the best nights, right?
Yep.
On
Where I was
Sunday
born.
nights, right?
R.I.P.
That was to me the pinnacle of or the start. And shout out to the guys, I'm not gonna go, who actually kind of started curating like Latin and hip hop downtown, right?
The history.
Right? And so if you think about it, it's like, okay, cool. Like eventually along the way, people come, right? How do you think the people that started that wave feel like now this new generation that don't even have as hard of a path, right? To actually succeed. Imagine nightlife back then when you didn't have access to all the things and tools
Yeah,
that you have
yeah.
now, right? That's what I think about it. Sometimes
Yeah.
I said, damn, like, yo, think about this next generation that's coming in that didn't have or that has way more tools than I did, right?
Yeah.
And you can always go back and forth about like, why did this happen? Why are they getting this opportunity? Why are they copying my things? But those are like bad questions to ask yourself in business because, again, at the end of the day, I've said it, if you don't iterate and change and keep up with the time, and competition is actually really, really good for the state of nightlife. Like, if you just have one night that's only doing well, it's bound to not do well, actually, anyways, because it's
That
actually
is true.
you're producing a product that people are going to get sick of.
Yeah,
You
oh,
want your
yeah.
consumers to go somewhere else to actually miss your night and say, oh, you know what? I want to come back here, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's my mic drop.
That was awesome.
dude, you
The
know,
Podfather.
Thank you,
The
Ado.
Podfather.
Thank you, Ado.
he doesn't come on often, but when he does decide to grab the mic, it's always.
And I don't choose sides. But AJ, you got a lot to prove on Sunday. You my boy. You know, I fuck with you. I told you we had a conversation, but I want to see y'all. I want to see that every Sunday if we gonna talk shit.
That's
I want to see it every Sunday if we gonna talk shit.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
You know what I'm saying? I love y'all both. I hope y'all can work it out and it can be civil. You know what I'm saying? Next week we're gonna talk about management, right? Right? Are we gonna talk about what percentages? Cause then we can talk about percentages and we can figure out who's really winning. We can talk about the 40s and 50s. What do you want to do?
the 360 deals.
360, the 360 deals that we talking about, like, listen, I'm not about being this goes with everything. It's just like when you know, and then you see people online like bluffing. I guess you got to fake it till you make it with certain things. And I'm not just talking about specific to this, but like we know you in the 360 deal. We know you going home with pennies to a dollar. Let's not.
Dude,
Let's not.
We know the chain's not real, bro.
Let's not. Let's not.
We know the chain's
Let's
not
not.
real.
Yo, can we talk about percentages?
No.
No percentages? All right.
Thing is, half the listeners have no idea what you're talking about.
No, exactly, and that's okay. Hey, listen, let's 2025. We're gonna start off in a good way, but why not? Why not start off with the fucking album of the year, maybe?
So, I did say I missed you, and I did miss you, but I was like, damn, he really got my transition off. You know what I'm saying? But true. I mean, it's. When we're talking about rappers, and specifically LiAngelo Ball, we were talking about viral, being able to needing the viral hit to be able to get up and get famous.
Yep.
And I was gonna say how not so much artistry anymore, right? The artistry is missing in that journey. But Bad Bunny, this being his 6th album now. In really not that long, like in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's doing amazing things and impactful things, for intentional things, all for good reason, and in the process coming out with really, really great music. this album, debí tirar más fotos, which means pretty much means should have taken more photos. And
Beautiful,
then
beautiful message. Beautiful message.
and yeah, and I mean, this rollout, it's so layered. So I mean, the concept of the album is, you know, photos, enjoying the moment, living in the moment, living freely, living vibrantly, which is then kind of a metaphor for his home country, his homeland in Puerto Rico, which is a place I'm still like so excited to visit soon. And I think, you know, he's kind of putting that concept, connecting it with his homeland, being like, this is, you know, the land in which, you know, we live in the moment. It's so vibrant, whether it's the food, the music, the culture, whatever it is. But also through the short film. Did you guys see the short film?
I didn't get to watch it yet.
Oh, dude, you got to watch it. But it's one of
yet.
those things, and this is going to sound really annoying. If you're not Latino, you're going to...
It's be hard to grasp.
You're going to view it a certain way, and then even beyond that, if you're not Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
you're not going to grasp it a certain way. I think I can only grasp 75% of what it actually is just because I'm not Puerto Rican. But I know that some of my Puerto Rican friends and people that I follow and stuff that were just like, yeah, oh my, like how impactful it was to them. I can imagine if he was a Guatemalan artist or a Honduran artist.
Well, it was definitely tapping into, like, you know, the gentrification.
Right. So in the short film, yeah. So basically, to spoil the short film for you, he has a little bit kind of like a mascot, I guess we can say in like
cookie?
Is it a frog?
The coqui, yeah,
Yeah.
which is the like kind of like the symbol of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. And he was an old man. And the old man dug up photos, and he was talking about, like, I wish I took more photos. Like, these are the only memories I'm forgetting. I don't have good memory anymore. And he's like, these are the things that happened, blah, blah, blah. And then there's that moment, and then there's a moment where he goes into, you know, the city, like a market or like a cafe that is. There's a point where he's like, I knew the owner. Like I've been here around, but then he has a funny exchange where it's like it's been modernized, and like the girl at the desk is like. I think she was like American, or like she spoke English, like even though they were in Puerto Rico. And he was like, I just wanted, like, you know, this
a cheese,
like a pastry, a cheese pastry or whatever. He said it in Spanish, and he goes, well, do you want like the regular one? Do you want the vegan one? Do you want like the non-cheese one? He was like, there's only one way to make it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? But like now there's like all these like gentrified options or whatever. And then he's like, what? And then he's trying to, like, it's just not connecting. And finally they figured it out. And then he's like, okay, cool. And she goes, we don't take cash. Like, it's only like whatever. And he's like, all I have is cash. And then a guy, you know, he was almost not able to get it. And he was like, I know the owner. Like what the fuck? Like, I've been going here for years.
Yeah.
Like, another customer around the way paid for it. And he goes, and he says, we're still here. He pays for it in cash. And he looks and he goes, we're still here. And that was like a big moment. That was the commentary of, you know, gentrification and modernization and how kind of, you know, parts, I'm sure, of Puerto Rico and beyond. Like, this can apply to really any third world or developing country where you see the changes and you start losing the, you know, the things that made it what it is, right? And so that was a big part that I was like, wow. Like, it was just so heavy and impactful. And then it went back into his house, you know, with his little friend, and then talking about music. And there was a car that comes by that was playing one of the songs, and he was like, see, like, I wish, you know, people aren't making music like that you can just drive and like really listen and like really like bump and like whatever. And Frog was like, you should just do it. And he's like, oh, okay. And then it cuts to him driving his car playing Bad Bunny records or whatever. And it was I think like a 15-minute long film, but that didn't really say a lot. There wasn't a lot of action, but it said so much.
It said so much, it did.
And I remember I watched it and I was like, wow, like I get what it's saying. And, you know, I recently went back to Guatemala over the summer, and, like, I was able to, like, get it. And then the album drops, and it's so Latin, and
So PR.
it's so Latin. Like I said, like, there's like, and what I was just gonna say is, like, I think any album that's in Spanish to a non-Spanish speaker, to a non-Latino, is going to be so Latin.
So Latin.
Right.
But even to a Latino, I'm like, this shit is so fucking
Traditional.
Latin. Yeah. And then, yes, so Puerto Rican. And through his interviews, he's, you know, since he just did a big spot on Jimmy Fallon, where they did like a really good interview for that and some promo for that. And he was just talking about, you know, how important it is and to, that he wants to represent the island, especially off of, the Donald Trump comments. I know that was a big thing because he was someone that commented back and was like, there was some, giving him backlash. And has since announced a tour for the album, a residency rather.
Fucking huge.
That is, I think the tour is called what it, in English is I Don't Want to Leave Here tour. So he, instead of tour, he could easily tour like what he did last year and sell out stadiums and arenas and whatnot. But instead he wants to keep a residency in Puerto Rico.
I think it's 30 tour dates. The first 30 is there.
And so
Wow.
I don't want to butcher. Yeah, it's like 20 to 30 dates. It's
Oh,
crazy.
dude.
And I don't want to mess this up, but from my understanding, at least the first run of the shows, the tickets are exclusive to Puerto Rican residents.
Yes.
Wow.
It says it on the bottom.
It says it on
Yeah.
each date. Puerto Rican residents only.
Wow.
So it shows that he's trying to give to his people and that he is putting the spotlight onto the island.
Of course.
Obviously, we just saw, I went to his tour last year. And he goes to all these different cities and does this thing and whatever, and everyone's like, okay, the New York show, the Boston show, blah, blah, blah. Nah, it's all here in
Bro.
Puerto Rico.
What a rollout.
And
And there is a second leg that's overseas, but it's all Latin. I think it's all Latin.
It's all Latin
countries.
countries.
Yep.
And there's only probably less than 10 of them, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
And so, what this is going to do for Puerto Rican economy, for tourism, the amount of money that's going to come in and from these shows, 30 shows.
It's like the Taylor Swift effect.
It's just insane, and
Yeah.
the intentionality of being I want my country to thrive from this, from my success, is really amazing.
It's
Honestly,
going to bring a lot of money to the island. A lot. It's going to bring a lot of jobs for people.
yeah, it's really
for sure.
it's really admirable and incredible. And I wanted to talk about the music a little bit.
I mean, right off the bat, people were looking for perreo all throughout the album, dembow throughout the album,
Club records, yeah.
and that's, I feel like that is just our brainwash mentality of going at things. When when our expectations are going a certain way, people tend to just not even just listen. They shut off. Oh, this is not what. No, this is whack. It's whack. I'm like, you're not listening. Number one, this is going to be played every New Year's, every holidays. This Bad Bunny is going to be played. And what he did was, I know from my country, for CV, there's always those albums that, those songs of the holidays that you hear. I know for every country they have those for Colombia, for whatever. And I think he did it for PR, but he made it modern. He modernized it, and he came up with his own way of doing it. And that's what he was saying. It's it's okay to tap into those old sounds, those old rhythms, and do it in a way where it's modern to today.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I made Vanessa sit down and listen to the album with me, and I was like, yo, see what he's doing here, really tapping into traditional roots, which I'm again, I'm not in the culture, but I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the way that he moved through the album, I love the fact that he had the bands in the background too.
Yeah.
I thought that was very telling. Bro, I mean, I've also really enjoyed the reception that it's gotten. I know you kind of alluded to it, people kind of sift through an album at first glance and try to pick out those club records. What can I jam out to?
Yeah.
But again, I feel this more than ever out of his past albums. Well, I'm not going to go that far, but I feel this one here, he kind of really took a step forward in that artistry where this is just a whole nother era that he hasn't tapped into before. And people, again, I say Taylor Swift because it's the same thing. She has these eras and everybody's bought into it.
And what I love about Bad Bunny is like you said, it's always an era. Michael Jackson did that. Every album he looked different. It was something different, a different style, a different wardrobe. Kanye West, Beyonce. So the fact that Bad Bunny does this every album to where he switches up his look, he switches up the swag, he switches up the
sound.
whole aura, the energy.
Yeah.
It's true. it's modern day superstar that we don't have anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's not super on social media all the time. He's not super outside all the time. He comes out when he's dropping.
Yeah.
Or when some
That is true.
when some political's going on. So to us, he taps back into that superstar mentality and that superstar way of moving around that we kind of don't have no more because it wants to be in people's faces. So it kind of humanizes the artist, which is okay, which is fine. But as far as being like on a Michael Jackson status or on something like that, like he definitely brings those kind of vibes whenever he drops or whenever he does something. And right off the first track, you know, he sets the tone with the sample he uses and the way he comes in with the salsa.
Yeah.
You have everybody dancing salsa right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting, and I have some commentary about that. But it does sample El Combo's song. It's Un Verano en Nueva York. The song being named Nueva York, which is like the Puerto Rican way of saying
New York.
of saying New York in Spanish.
Nueva York.
Which is awesome. And when I saw that was like the name of the first record, I was like, yo, New York's gonna go crazy. Like I already knew, I already knew, dude.
Huge.
And then the sample comes out into, I mean, the production was really, really cool. It just swoops into the dembow.
The drums kick in.
Yeah, the modernized version of it. And then he just does an amazing job of just like sliding through the beat and just like having those moments, the reggaeton in dembow, like just having like there's just key moments that you know, like these are the parts that people are gonna sing.
Yeah.
And then the beat switch, the shh, like I'm just like, oh my, he's just so smart,
So good.
and I think just juxtaposing this to Alejandro's album that came out about a month before, which
Saturno.
no.
The one before, the one after
No,
that.
the Cosa Nostra though.
Yeah, that one.
I didn't really like it. Had a few highlights, but like I think what Bad Bunny's doing what Rao was trying to do.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair.
But I just think he just did it a lot better.
Yeah.
And my issue was like Rao covered Tu Con Él, which a lot of people like loved it.
It's
like,
big shoes to fill, bro.
It's big shoes to fill.
Especially if you don't hit those notes the way that
yeah.
you was
So
hitting the notes.
do you know the song I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
So,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like when I heard it, I was waiting for a beat switch. Like I was waiting for, and I was like, "Yo, this is just a cover."
Straight. Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of people that didn't know it was a cover. That just rookies and whatever that were like, "Oh, like he did like an amazing salsa record." I'm like, "It's not his record."
Right.
And I'm like, I think that's whack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this dude, Bad Bunny, in comparison, made new salsa songs.
Yeah.
That are as good that will be as good and played as
that's
much
most-
as classic salsa records that you can play in a set. The same thing he did with Después de la Playa.
Right.
What do you play before and after Después de la Playa? These hard hitting merengue songs that you've been playing for 20 years.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
You feel what I'm saying?
the
It
way-
fits.
yeah.
It fits.
That's your transition.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, he did this now with salsa, and like what you just said, now people are dancing salsa, which is I think is interesting and so needed because I was like, okay, you have these now modern Latin reggaeton whatever artists that are making salsa music now and some merengue music. Do people know how to dance this shit? Or
Yeah.
They're
That's,
because
They're
there was a big gap.
two-stepping.
No, because there was a big gap
Yeah.
in modern Latin music.
Yeah.
Where sure it was a lot of perreo and then the dembow had its wave and whatever. We're like, I don't know if people know how to dance.
Salsa was one of those odd genres where it's like, yo, you probably get away with 2 songs and people looking at you like you're gonna switch it.
You're right.
It's hard to depending where you are. It's especially in the Latin club. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I know there were Latin promoters, no names, that were saying don't play salsa in this Spanish club.
yeah. That's crazy.
There were people saying that don't play merengue, don't play salsa in the Spanish club, and that tells you a lot.
Right. Right.
And for me, Bad Bunny's kind of smart too because Bad Bunny has a fire merengue track. He has a fire bachata track.
That's what I mean.
He has a fire
When-
salsa.
So when Después de la Playa came out, were you not just playing that much more merengue in your set now
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you have to
'cause
play,
I
you have to
can.
play the record and then now you have to surround it,
Connect it, yep.
So like, bro, even at Bodega,
Right.
I'm playing merengue down.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like so now, and that's what I'm saying. That's what like again artistry and what influence does, because now you're like, shit, we got to do it.
Right.
And then now, like, as a person that is going out and whatever, like, you got to learn it.
Right.
So like, are we dancing now? You know what I'm saying?
I'm down.
I mean, but
you know, I'm always down.
But even within that, like him tapping into that old Puerto Rican heritage with the David Did My Photo when it breaks down and all the stuff like that with the bands. What that is doing now, it's forcing other countries and other people of different ethnicities to tap into their old school
Stand up. Yeah, let's
way of
show us.
of their music, their heritage. And I think that it's beautiful because now these days it's all about fitting in. It's all about, hey, let me do something that's gonna make people that's easy listening music. No, at first you're gonna be like, whoa, what's going on? But I like when you really pay attention to the music, it's great music, whether you're Latin, whether you're African, whether you're American, it's gonna cross over. And the thing about the difference between Rao and Bad Bunny is Rao seemed like a copy and paste. Bad Bunny seemed like a Bad Bunny doing salsa.
Yeah. I was going to bring that point up because I know Snacks brought it up, but I thought with Rao's album, I enjoyed it. Again, non-Spanish speaking person.
El Gringo.
El Gringo. Muy bien.
Bomb, hit it with a bomb. 25.
I thought it was a good album, but and again, he showed diversity, no doubt.
Yeah.
I thought he showed diversity in that album, but where Bad Bunny took it was to a whole nother level where he made it his sound.
Yeah.
Like he incorporated all this, showed diversity, and made it flow all together in one cohesive project. Like with Rao's albums, generally, he shows like one of his strengths is diversity, right?
Yeah.
And he does a lot of jumping.
Yeah,
from,
he
like,
does a lot of
song
jumping,
to song, so it's tough to get in a flow.
Yeah.
With Bad
Yeah.
Bunny, he jumped seamlessly from like all those subgenres throughout that album.
But again, I think that's the difference between like being like a good and cool artist and talented and like artistry and like that. Like that's the good versus great. Like it really, really is.
Right.
And shout out my friends who are huge Rao fans. Like I've already spoken to them.
And I go and I say this all the time. Artist, find a producer and stay with that producer. I know a lot of artists when they get with producers and they get their hit and all of a sudden they want to go change up their sound and elevate and evolve. Your producer can evolve with you.
Are you talking about Tiny?
Talking about Tiny. Tiny was in those sessions. Tiny's in there. Tiny's doing this with him. You know what I'm saying? He's smart by keeping that. And then these reggaeton songs...
Hard.
You have the guy, Tiny, that was leading reggaeton at the time. Still is. Tapping back in. That Tribal Clan. Hey, that is suave.
Pues sí.
Sucio.
This song is crazy.
Yeah, that song is
wild.
wild.
And it's like track like 13 or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dylan, what?
Shit. I just wanted to make a side note, like
Dylan, don't piss me
He's
off.
about to. He's about
Fingaz is back. Fingaz is back now. Be careful.
He's about to wipe.
Fingaz is back.
He's about to wipe man this shit out right now. Hold on.
Dylan, if you
can I finish?
if you kill my vibe right now.
Dylan's black too, but he's about to wipe man this shit out real quick. Hold on, let's go. Let's get it.
I just want to say that I appreciate you guys being DJs because just from seeing from like everybody the mainstream just reviewing this is like, oh, it's not like what his usual stuff is, but now how you guys like deep dived into what this album is, like from an outside person that doesn't even I don't speak Spanish, I'm not a Latin person, but like this really gives me more of an insight of like what this story is. So I do appreciate it a lot.
You respect it more.
I respect it a lot.
And that's
more.
why we're here,
Yeah.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
You respect it more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you, Dylan.
Make sure you subscribe and like. It's the only way we keep it moving here on this podcast. But I know you already know the DJ.
We do love the DJ.
Just to wrap up on the album real quick, because we didn't really talk about the song that has the plays off of the album title.
Yep.
So it's DTMF on the album, which is just like an acronym for the album title. And dude, the thing that how I know I can't be an amazing top charting artist or songwriter producer is like, and I think Disney does this well, where like, how do you know that you can make a moment in a movie make everyone cry? Mm-hmm. You know, like what is the psychology behind that? Like, I think that is just a concept that I just don't. I think I know how to make like moments on like as a DJ, but like it's like there's just times where I watch Disney movies and I'm like, how did they know that would make everyone cry? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is a song that the melody, the words, the crowd, the call and response, like I'm just like, dude, like you feel what he was trying to convey so well.
I got goosebumps and automatically started thinking about my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it puts you there.
Yeah. And what it's done on TikTok. So the TikTok trend now is
People crying.
people going through their memories and their photos and being like, I should have posted more. I should have take like their loved ones that have passed, like people that they're with now. And I'm just like going through TikTok and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then Bad Bunny himself posts a video of him listening to the song with tears running down his face because the concept worked.
Yeah.
Because what he was trying to get people to do, they're doing it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, how did you know? How did you like? That's the thing that really amazes me.
Right.
And
I mean, music is.
It's just incredible.
Music,
like it reminds me why I love music.
Music is a science, essentially, right? So there is different frequencies, there's different things that you can tap into, you know, to make the person react. But to me, in this sense, it's tapping into the human. It's tapping into the everyday person. It's tapping into feelings that we do have. Everybody in this world has love, fear, you know, sadness, reflection, and once you tap into those things, especially in these touchy, you know, times and stuff like that, it's that you have no other way but to react. And then once you put behind it the beautiful melodies and the playful melodies, like that sounds like a lullaby. Right. So it kind of puts you back in that childlike state, and people lose touch with themselves when they lose touch with their childlike state, because that's your most pure form of self, is when you are a child, when you don't worry about the pressures of the world. You're not worrying about the pressures of trying to fit in and having to go to work and having to pay bills and having to lose yourself in this world, in this that kind of breaks us down and makes us forget that we have this one life and we need to cherish the moments that we share with each other and put down the phones. And I saw a reel the other day of where it's like they show people at a concert in like the 2000s, and people now at a concert, you see everybody with their phones out. We're living through our phones instead of living within the moment. And yes, it's saying take more photos, but it's also saying live within your moment. You know what I'm saying? Tap into that side of you that brings you back to that place. And once you do that, you get nothing but vulnerability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's important. And I think that's what's making this work, is he knows how to tweak those heartstrings to make you stop for a second, listen, and then grind with a chick the next song. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a beautiful thing, and it's a juggling of emotions in this album that is amazing. I didn't think he was going to be able to top Un Verano Sin Ti, which
you think this is better?
I don't think I think I think each one of his albums are standalones. I don't even like to compare them. Yes.
How can you not?
No. But yes, you're gonna compare them because that is just what it is. But the way I'm looking at music and the way I'm looking at these things is like, listen, I'm taking this as its own photo, as its own portrait. What is this picture telling me? I can't compare this picture to that picture because that picture's telling me something else. I can say whether, yes, the music sounds better or the beats sound better, but if I'm attaching this to a feeling, I can't attach this feeling to that feeling, because it's just like, for me, it's just like, it's its own entity, it's its own thing, it's its own world. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I feel like this album sits great in his discography, because it's none like what he has done before.
Right.
So it stands alone for me.
This is the type of album that you've been telling Drake to make for how many years now?
Listen, Drizzy, I love you. I like the haircut, and the haircut made me feel like, oh shit, we might be getting that Drizzy back. You know what I'm saying? But yes, this is the type of thing that I want from. This is what I'm talking about when it comes. I want Drizzy to tap the fucking. I feel like Drizzy can do that. He has enough talent to switch to switch it up, to do things where it's not just an easy listening experience for the just of consumption and the streaming. It's a feeling. It's a moment in time, and Bad Bunny does this better than a lot of motherfuckers these days. And kudos to him, man.
Amen.
Yeah, man, it's very well said. I love what you say about connecting with your inner child and everything. I think that's very well said, and I mean from a producer as well.
Which went number one? I went number one. I just want to let you know. Shout out to Mike V. We went number one.
Yes, sir.
Reggae charts on iTunes. Shout out to you, bro.
Congrats, bro. That's a huge accomplishment, man.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you. It's just beautiful, man.
It's beautiful. You feel like you're at a house,
Right.
and everyone's just singing.
Yeah, man, you're at home and you just, like, it does make you feel emotional. Like, even without you even just understanding what's going on, it does give you that.
You know what it reminds me of is like Ghost Town.
Yes.
You know the end of Ghost Town?
That
Like,
and
that song. I remember when I first heard it, I was like, ooh. I was like, whoa.
Yep.
It's just, I mean, what are those major chords? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just a free feeling.
It's a feeling. It's when people achieve that, I really get. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just the most beautiful part of music. Where like when you achieve that, like, there's only so many notes. There's only so many chords. There's only but you figured it out, and like with the words and it's just, I fucking love artistry,
I love it.
bro. It's
I
just,
love it.
I'm so fucking horny.
I'm so happy that we can talk about this album, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
no,
Like this.
definitely.
I missed you, man.
I miss you too, guys.
Yeah,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying? It's dope to be back, and thank you for taking for allowing me to take the time to take care of some things and put some things in order. Get my health back, and you're a great influence on that. You as well, with getting that back in order. So doing things like that and take care of my family. So I love that I got my family to have my back and be like, hey, go do your thing. I'm gonna hold it down.
Yeah,
We'll have you back when you're ready. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody.
Appreciate y'all, man. Great having you back. What a great
What a
first
pod.
episode.
What a great fucking show, man.
Way to
Great
be
show.
back. We're so back.
We are so back.
We're so back.
Thanks so much for listening. Interact, talk to us. Let us know what you think. And whether you're watching a clip or watching on YouTube or anything like that, say welcome back, Fingas. We love you. And we'll see you soon.
Peace,
Bye.
peace.